88 Films had previously released in a box set the In the Line of Duty series of Hong Kong action extravaganzas, and now they're putting those out separately for retail sale one at a time. And we're starting with the first film in the series, Yes, Madam, from 1985, which is also known as In the Line of Duty 2, even though it was the first film technically in the Line of Duty. We're not going to get into all of that right now. Directed by Yuen, who also did Righting Wrongs, Dragons Forever, the Transporter, and that DOA beach volleyball movie based on a video game that I thought was actually a really entertaining movie. It's, as I said, this is a Blu-ray. It is stars Michelle Yeoh, Cynthia Rothrock, Soy Hark, James Tien, Dick Wei, Sammo Hung, and Richard Ng, and much of many other people you might recognize. Presented in 2.0 Cantonese original theatrical mix mono, 2.0 Cantonese home video mix with original sound effects, 5.1 DTS MA new English dub, and export version with the classic English dub, which runs 87 minutes, as well as the original Hong Kong version, which is 94 minutes. The export version, we'll tell you what the story is about, and then we'll get into the details here. So basically, Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock play cops, and they're on the trail of bad guys with stolen microfilm, and they deal with small-time crooks and big-time gangsters, and it has Choi Hawk is in it, who went on to become a very well-known director in Hong Kong in the 90s. He stars as a comedic, goofy counterfeiter who has this apartment that's just all laden with booby traps. And there's a pretty amazing sequence where a disgruntled client shows up to do him harm. And he is just using every booby trap and every little escape route and secret passage and everything in this tiny apartment. And it is a miracle of comedic timing and slapstick and choreography and set construction. And there are many moments in this film that I would say the movie is worth it for this alone. One of those is the Choi Hawk trying to not get beat up in his apartment sequence, and another is the last 10 minutes of the film. Like in any classic Hong Kong action film of this period, the last 10 minutes are usually just solid, and even if the movie wasn't much up to that point, it's a square-up reel in those last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes are Rothrock and Yeoh going up against an army of bad guys in some bad guy's lair. And all I need to say, if you know Hong Kong film, is that there are levels and there are railings. Thank me later. So, produced by Dixon Poon, which is one of my favorite names that I've ever heard in the world. The export version, the shorter version that is 87 minutes, the English dub, has additional opening scene that's not in the Hong Kong version, which it's a shorter film, but it has this whole opening scene, which is amazing. It's got amazing action in it, and it's just shocking that this would be not in the Hong Kong version, but it's not. And the on-screen title of the English export version is In the Line of Duty 2, The Super Cops, not to be confused with Police Story 3, Super Cop, or the 70s Ron Liebman film, The Super Cops. So let's just call this let's call this Yes, Madam. The Hong Kong version is, as I said, 94 minutes. And let's see, what do we have here? It lifts music from Halloween repeatedly. Hong Kong films are known for that, and I love that stuff gets retained for these new video releases, and that they don't try to replace the music or strip that music out. It's like, copyright be damned, we're leaving it in the movie because that's how people saw it back then. So if you're a fan of John Carpenter and horror films and Halloween, you're going to be watching this and you're going to be like, that sounds familiar. That music is, wait, that's Halloween music. Kind of funny. Special features on this are not voluminous. There is a commentary by Frank Zheng, who's always great. He's a Hong Kong film expert who, as I always say, knows everything about all the people and all the actors and all the reality behind the culture of the day and other films made by the same people and the legacy of these kind of films. So highly informative, highly entertaining. There is an interview. There's also a Cynthia Rothrock introduction to the disc when you pop it in, which is really cool. She's still out there. She's still active. She's still amazing. There's a feature called A Team Player Cynthia Rothrock interview on Yes, Madam. That's 18 minutes with her talking about basically how she got into martial arts, how she got into making Hong Kong movies, and then the making of Yes, Madam, which is great. And then there is a select scene commentary by Cynthia Rothrock and Frank Zheng, and that's just 5 minutes. It's just basically the airport scene, but it is cool to have her comment as she's watching how that scene was made. So this release, not in the box set, looks a little something like this. Focus, there we go. Looks a little something like this, and not too fancy. We've got the disc there, and if you take the disc out, you can see it features the original Hong Kong poster art as a reversible cover if you would prefer to have the reversible cover reversed. So Really good movie. I'm hoping they continue to release these as single disc editions, so anybody who missed out on the box set or doesn't want to buy the whole box set or whatever can get these. Very, very good classic Hong Kong action. 88 films on Blu-ray with Yes, Madam.